Working merchant cash advance leads is the quickest way to go broke. And if you're feeling burnt out chasing deals, getting way more declines from your lenders, or your clients are simply not taking your offers, you need to stop going after and working MCA deals. My name is Gavin Bird and I'm co-founder of Rapid Funding Solutions. And I wanted to shoot this quick video because I'm seeing so many brokers working MCA deals and getting zero from it. One lady I helped recently spent the last 12 months working her arse off and only funded one deal. And here's the thing, the alternative lending market is growing at a fast pace. And most of the new and current lenders, new brokers, and even the gurus coming into this place are focusing on MCAs. You know, the pitch generally being, it's a great product, it's so simple to sell, you can get great commission, you can even get funding with low FICO scores, blah, blah, blah. And all of that seems great at face value. But let's take a closer look at what it means if you're an MCA broker in this industry right now. And the first thing to say is that everyone out there is doing it, okay? And with that, there's a ton of competition, and there's actually new competition, and it's growing almost daily. And the problem with that, you know, having lots and lots of competition, is that everyone's chasing the same business. They're doing and saying the exact same thing, and it becomes pretty much impossible for you to stand out when your only clear point of differentiation is how great your service is or how great your rates are. You know, how many brokers are out there now saying that sort of stuff? And if that's really our only default, then we're screwed before we even start, because the clients are all hearing the same exact message, right? Which makes your job even harder. But it actually gets worse. And the reason it gets worse is that with all of these new competitors coming into the industry, it brings a lot of inexperience to the industry too, which is not a good thing from your potential client's perspective, because the level of service will naturally dilute and decrease as time goes on and more of these guys come into the industry. And the other thing is that most of these just won't be up to the task. You know, there's so much marketing out there right now that's attracting people in, and they kind of come in thinking it's an easy thing to do, right? And we know it's not. It's a profession. You have to work hard at it. You have to really commit yourself to actually making this thing work for you so you can get to those consistent months. So what happens is that all they do is when they quit, they just leave a wake of bad client experiences behind them, which makes our job even harder, because we're always on the back foot when speaking to any potential new client, because we're competing with the negative perception that they already have about what we do and what we offer. And, you know, and I know this is actually even happening now. Lots will have already have had bad experiences. And some of them will even have had MCAs already and had bad experiences with that. So what that basically means is that, you know, we're no longer seen this as valuable service. And from our perspective, again, just getting a good quality lead that we can work is going to feel like pushing water uphill. But it gets worse again, because MCAs are not in the client's best interest. Okay. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that are already thinking and feeling the same thing, having had some clients or even potential clients coming on that have already got MCAs. Okay. And the general reason is that the rates are just way too high. And, you know, they offer daily or weekly payments, which for most businesses just do not suit them, you know, how they operate their business. So what does that actually mean to us? Well, you know, even if you've done all that work and you've got this great lead on and they are interested, most of the time they're going to get an offer and they're just going to decline it. So the net result to you is still zero. Okay. And then the other thing is that with MCAs, the product itself naturally just attracts bad businesses. So, you know, these are the type with bad credit, low deposits, low revenue. You might have your lead generation nailed down and you're getting tons of leads coming in, but I'll bet you most of them fall into that category, which again means you're never really going to get them funded. Even if you've got lenders telling you, oh yeah, we can do this with low FICO scores, it's complete rubbish. You know, you're going to be hustling like crazy and you might get the few over the line and get them funded, but the general rule is most of them just will not happen. So stop wasting your time. You know, I realized this, we stopped wasting our time. We made a transition. And I always have this quote in my mind whenever something's kind of getting stuck for me. It's Einstein's quote of the definition of insanity, whereby, you know, if you're basically doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, you know, and you might well be in this situation right now. So it may well be time for you to make a change. And when this kind of occurred to us that we needed to make a change, one of the easiest things that you can start to do is actually start to focus on helping more established businesses. So by default, just by focusing on an established business type, you're basically into a situation where you can start to offer them finance products that best serve their needs, which opens up, lines of credit, working capital, invoice factoring, lots and lots of different types of products, which are actually far easier to fund because more established businesses tend to have their affairs in order. They don't have bad credit, low deposits, and those kind of things that generally work against getting an MCA deal done. And then the other thing to do when you make that shift is pick a niche, focus in a specific area and become the expert in that area so that you can build your personal brand and then dominate it. So what do I mean by that at a high level? Well, I'll say everybody, there are lots of brokers out there that basically help all different types of businesses, and they might make, some revenue every month, but it's generally very hard to scale that kind of way of working, and I guess the reason you're getting into this industry and the reason you want to do this is that you want to be hitting those 10K plus per month, but not working, 10, 12-hour days doing it. So by picking a niche and then focusing on building a personal brand, what that means is that whenever these business owners within the niche that you're focused on need funding, they're not going to go to Google, or they're not going to take, the 10th cold call they've had that day from a broker they don't even know. They're going to focus on you because you've actually taken the time to build out the trust and the credibility of what you actually offer without even speaking to them. And by the way, these are sort of the two key psychological or subconscious factors that we all do as human beings that we use to decide whether we're going to buy from somebody. So they already know they want to buy from you before you've even spoken to them. So if you do that and you do that well, you end up dominating your niche, which means that none of your competitors really ever get a look in because they're busy just trying to work with anyone and everybody. Okay, so there's a very simple way to go and do that. And if you are the sort of person that's sort of working those 10-hour days right now, if you just shift that energy into sort of doing what I'm suggesting right here, you'll naturally just see a drastic increase in your monthly revenue. And monthly revenue, right? 10K plus per month consistently. That's the kind of, when I first started out, that was my kind of my benchmark. That was the game changer for me that would actually change my life. And it was only really when making those shifts and getting really focused that started to happen. And once you get that stuff dialed in, it becomes quite easy to do that and then also scale that revenue, which is the other key factor for why we all work in this industry. So if you like what I've shown you here and it's generally of help, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and do give me a like, right? It just helps me know that the stuff I'm putting out there is generally helping you guys and that you want to see more of it. And with that said, thanks so much for watching.